resident of Gaza and also a political analyst. Thank you so much for joining us here on Al Jazeera. Let me start by asking you what you're seeing and hearing and experiencing there right now.
Good evening, and many thanks for hosting me. The situation here in the Gaza Strip is beyond being catastrophic. This is, for the past 11 days, I've never seen something like this in my life. The intensity of the Israeli bombing, the number of deaths, the number of injuries, the destruction that has been inflicted on the Palestinians, including a whole family of my relatives, where 9 people were buried under the rubble of their home, including a baby who is 1 year old. You add to that the cutoff of electricity, potable water, no fuel. Everything has been catastrophic for the past days. People are very much stranded, most of them here in the Gaza Strip, where, according to UNRWA and UN agencies, roughly 1 million Palestinians have become displaced here in the Gaza Strip as a result of the bombing and also as a result of orders by the Israeli army to evacuate north of Gaza to the south. A humanitarian catastrophe by all it means. It's happening here in Gaza nowadays.
Mukhaima, we've been hearing from our correspondent that it sounds like there has actually been an intensification of airstrikes over the last hours. Is that what you've been experiencing?
Even I'm in Khan Yunis area, which is in the south of Gaza, and that's the area we were ordered by the Israeli army to evacuate to. But in spite of that, we have been hearing bombing in Khan Yunis, the south of Gaza, in addition to other areas of the Gaza Strip, in Rafah and also the middle area of Gaza, Deir al-Balah, Burej, Nusayrat. All of these areas have been bombed today, and a number of dead and injured bodies have been transferred to the hospitals. So nothing can escape the Israeli bombardment and Israeli artillery all day long.
I do want to flag for our viewers who you've just seen it flash on your screen there. We are hearing from the Gaza Health Ministry that the death toll in this hospital blast has risen to at least 500 people in this airstrike. Mukhaima, we've also been hearing that people have obviously been trying to flee. You spoke there about people trying to find...
Yeah, so this is not self-defense. This is ethnic cleansing, right? Call it what it is, right? It's ethnic cleansing. You know what I mean? Let me say this. Israelis have no right to self-defense in Palestine, right? And a dude made a point on the interview with Piers Morgan. It's true, right? How can you break in somebody's house, steal their, break in their house, start stealing their shit, right? Kill their grandmother, right? Lock their father in the basement, right? Beat the shit out of them, right? And start robbing everything in the house, oil, gas, whatever, right? Well, in this case, I guess gold, jewelry, whatever, right? And then you start fighting them, right? They claim self-defense, right? Total insanity. That's total insanity, right? And this is the shit that these neo-Nazis are trying to sell people, right? Or should I say these Zion-Nazis are trying to sell people, right? And they were doing this long before Hamas. You see, long before Hamas got started, this is what they were doing. You see? Now, they gave them a green light. The American Nazi, the Anglo-Saxon Nazi, gave them like Joe Biden gave them the green light. The Euro-Nazi gave them the green light. This is what Russia was fighting against in Ukraine. You see? Why they don't want them in their country and around their country. You see? This is not self-defense. This is ethnic cleansing. When you send people, you say, yeah, we're not going to bomb the hospitals. We're not going to bomb Rafah crossing near Egypt. And just go there. And when the people get there, you drop bombs and say, well, it is what it is. These people are terrorists, right? Fox News, right? ABC News, NBC News. Well, these people are terrorists. They got what they deserved, right? You had Nikki Haley come on TV running for president, this Indian, wicked Indian devil, and say, wipe them all out. And that's what they doing, right? She used to be the ambassador to the UN, right? I think under Trump. And one of the most vicious racists that you want to see in American politics, right? Yeah, this ain't self-defense. This is ethnic cleansing, right? Trying to move 1 million people. They're not even trying. They're just bombing hospitals and refugee camps, right? And claiming they claiming that they this self-defense, right? This is gonna set the world on fire. I said it a few days ago. They're gonna set the world on fire because they haven't taken the temperature. This ain't 1989. This ain't 95. It's 2023. People ain't with this shit. You see? People not with this shit, but they somehow they think it is. You see? They think that everybody with it, right? That's why the Colombian president called them a bunch of neo-Nazis and told their ambassador, don't talk shit to him, you can get out of his country. You see? People ain't with it, man. They know that you ethnically cleansing these people. You see? And when you criticize these people, they say, well, you're a racist, you're anti-Semite. So if you bomb a hospital, kill 500 people, and I say, hey, listen, that's uncalled for, that's not self-defense. You say, well, you're a racist, you're an anti-Semite. Well, I can say, well, you're white, you're from Europe, you're not a Semite. A Semite is an Afro-Asiatic person. There's nothing Afro-Asiatic about you, sir. Not to be racist, it's just a fact, right? It's a natural fact in the dictionary or, in books, if you want to get technical. Since you want to throw around the word anti-Semite, or you want to throw around the word Semite or Shemite, which is the root word, right? And you don't descend from Shem, because Shem was a black man, so-called, right? So if you say, hey, listen, what y'all doing is wrong, right? You say, well, Israel got the right to self-defense. No, Israel does not have a right to self-defense. That's number one. You can't occupy people's land, steal their shit, and then when people go off on you, claim that they're racist and that they're terrorists. You asked for it, right? If you break in my house and I shoot you, you can't claim self-defense. You can't claim that somehow that you was defending yourself. You can't come in my house, break through my house, right? Shoot me in the leg, I shoot back or whatever, right? Kill you, hit you, wound you, kill you, whatever, and then somebody say, well, he was in that man's house defending himself. How the fuck was he in my house, which he didn't own, had no rights to, attacking me, and then claiming self-defense? You see? It makes no sense when you look at it logically, but this not going to be solved by logic. This not a problem that's going to be solved by logic. This is going to be, you can call it biblical, you can call it supernatural, you can call it anything you want, but this is going to get solved, right? Believe that shit. It's going to get resolved, and they are not going to win. They on the wrong side of this whole thing, right? You can't bomb hospitals and claim self-defense. You can't bomb refugee camps and claim self-defense. Every Palestinian, a lot of Palestinians don't even vote for Hamas, right? Didn't vote for Hamas or none of that shit. You see what I'm saying? So this is collective punishment. This is punishing people that might have even been opposed to them and trying to get rid of them. But you bombed them anyway. So you turned somebody who would have been an ally into an enemy. Because after you bomb them, then they say, fuck it, I might as well side with Hamas. You see? It doesn't make sense. You're breeding hatred, right? You can't claim self-defense. This ain't self-defense. This is genocide. This is ethnic cleansing. You can't remove 1 million people from their homes and from their land and bomb this shit to smithereens, right? As they say, and bomb it to the Stone Age. And then tell them, and they said, well, where they gonna go? They said, well, send them to Egypt, send them to Jordan. The Jordanians said, you can't send 1 million people to my country. The Egyptians said, yeah, man, you can't do that. You can't wipe people off their land and then send them to Egypt. And then build hotels and oil wells on their land. But see, when you're American, see, CNN don't have a problem with that. Joe Biden, who has done that to blacks and Indians in America, his ancestors, see, they don't have no remorse for these people. One, because they're not considered white, right? That's number one. And they don't have, and number two is because Anthony Blinken, Joe Biden, right, and all the Republicans and every fucking body else who was crying about Ukraine, whereas a bunch of white people, they don't care because them people are Arab and considered non-white. You see? So, from their historical context, it's okay to kill people and take their land. What do you mean? That's self-defense, right? See, for the white man like Joe Biden, whose family came to America, killed Indians, enslaved blacks, killed black people, and terrorized them, enslaved people, right? Put them under apartheid and Jim Crow. It ain't really nothing wrong with what's happening to the Palestinians. That's just business as usual. You see? Right? It's just business as usual for them. Politics as usual. Right? Because they've been doing that. Look, we've been doing this to niggas for 500 years in America. Right? We've been doing it to these tree nigger Indians and these niggers in America for 500 years. Right? Yeah, I mean, come on. We got no problem with that. We got no problem with them going over here from Europe into Palestine, taking their land, killing people, causing wars, putting people on reservations, right? Calling them terrorists, dehumanizing them, and then bombing hospitals. Because that's their heritage. Their heritage is Nazi, racist, fascist, white supremacy, and Judo-Christian cult groups, this is all Nazism and Satanism. At the root of it is Satanism, right? When they say we are the chosen people of God, their God is Satan, not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You see? So people like Joe Biden, he said he's going to Israel to give a speech tomorrow. He's gonna light the Middle East on fire when he shows up tomorrow. Mark my words. He said he's gonna go over there and bring a peace plan tomorrow. I got $100, right? I got $100 bet. I'm taking bets. What happens when he go over there tomorrow after he leaves? I'm taking bets. Holler at your boy. That shit is gonna, when he leaves, when he goes there and he leaves, you're gonna see a firelight around the whole world. I've been right. Go back and look at some of the videos I made. And this shit been quick. Boom, like 6 days later, right? Now, it hasn't taken long. I'm making a prediction. He says he's going with a peace plan tomorrow to Israel and give a speech. Guarantee you that shit accelerates from there. Now there's no peace plan gonna be made, right? They put a battery in these people back, and them Israelis don't bow to nobody. They own Joe Biden. You see? They own the Anglo-Saxon. They're at the top of the pyramid. So whatever they say go in America, right? With the political class in America. Not with the people. The people generally ain't with that shit for the most part. Right? But Joe Biden is gonna light the world on fire tomorrow. Right? Guaranteed. You see? He can't stop them now. Because he empowered them and put a battery in their back and they are going to commit ethnic cleansing in front of the world. You got 1 billion plus Muslims from Malaysia to Afghanistan to Pakistan, right? To Chechnya, from Iran to Egypt to Libya to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Yemen, Africa, right? And you're gonna do that in front of them? You're gonna defile Al-Aqsa, the third holiest site in their religion of those people around the world, right? You defile their temple and then kill a bunch of Arab Muslims in front of them? You gotta be out of your fucking mind. You see? Really, like, you gotta be out of your fucking mind to green light something like that. They're gonna light the world on fire tomorrow. They don't want him there. And he's not gonna bring a peace plan. He can't contain these people. He never could. He been giving them, these people in America, been giving these people the green light for 75 years in Europe and America to create basically a white ethno state, right? To basically, what is Israel? A white ethno state with nuclear missiles and weapons aimed at North Africans, you see? To basically drop the hammer on anybody that get out of hand in that area. The enforcers, basically Israel is just some white European enforcers in North Africa. That's all they are, right? Some neo-Nazis, you see? Enforcers. And people been watching this. You have to be out of your mind, right? Like, to be in America and greenlighting this shit. These people in the Congress, I'm watching them. People like Nikki Haley, wipe them out. Are you crazy? You're making statements like that on TV? Wipe them out, right? Calling them animals. Basically calling them a bunch of niggers, right? That's what a nigger is, subhuman animal, right? Defiling the third holiest site in these people's culture and religion. Al-Aqsa, right? And then ethnically cleansing a group of them and stealing their land, ethnically cleansing a group of them in front of everybody, and then claiming terrorism and self-defense when you ain't got no right to even be there. Don't you think these people smart enough to know that them white people in Israel don't belong there and that wasn't their land? So when you stand up in front of cameras and say shit like, well, this is about self-defense, the only people that's buying that shit is the racists in Europe and the racists in America. They the only people, that's your audience. That's a minority. You see? They the only people buying that shit. That this is self-defense. These people are terrorists. They looking at you like, are you fucking crazy? You preaching to your choir, right? You preaching to the people back in the United States. Joe Biden, when he goes there and stands in front of those people and says, Israel has a right to defend itself, we back them up equivocally. All you doing is putting a target on the back of motherfuckers and riling people up. You see? It doesn't make any sense, right? He's gonna light the world on fire. These people have no right to self-defense, and these people know that, you see? But people were still willing to make a deal with them. Now it's too late, you see? They ain't gonna be willing to make no deals now. I doubt, maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe I pumped out brakes, and maybe I'm wrong, right? I've been wrong before. I don't think I'm wrong this time. They just lit this shit on fire. And Joe Biden is gonna pour gasoline on this shit tomorrow. He brought 2,000 troops and all his hardware into the Mediterranean to threaten these people. To basically say, stand down while we commit a genocide against 2 million fucking people? Are you insane? You brought all that shit, all that hardware over there to point a gun at these people's head to say stand down while we ethnically cleanse Gaza and wipe out 2 million people. You might as well take a bat and beat the fuck out of a beehive. Like, that shit is not going to go the way. I don't know who told him that was a good idea. This is insanity, man. Pure insanity, man. And you know what happens? It's because these people have been doing wrong so long that it's no correcting them now. Right? You got them keep standing up talking about these people have a right to defend themselves. So do the Palestinians. The Palestinians have more right to defend themselves than any white Jewish person in Israel. Let me say that again. The Palestinians have more right to fight and defend themselves than any Palestinian in Israel, any Jewish person, you know, over there in Palestine, Israel. Why? Because they've been there for thousands of years. Hundreds, if not thousands of years, right? Some of these people can trace their lineage back to Jesus Christ, right? As you call it. Those white people that claim from Russia and from Germany or whatever, that's where their ancestors is from. Their ancestors is from Russia and Germany, not Palestine, not North Africa, not Egypt, not Somalia, not Libya, Morocco, anywhere around there. It's real simple. And don't you think the world's smart enough to know that? So when you go, those people have a right to defend themselves more than anybody. You see? But people in America, particularly these white people and people from Europe and different, you know, the Euro Negro, right? The Negropeans or whatever, right? Somehow they missed that. You see? Israel has no right to self-defense. You cannot break into people's house, steal their shit, kill their grandmother, and claim you fighting, you know, for your rights of self-defense. The Palestinians have every right to self-defense. You see? But they did it anyway. They went against the laws of nature. You see, they took these people right from them to fight back. You see? Same thing they did the blacks and Indians in America. It's the same thing. It's no different. They took their ability to fight back. You see? Man, I would tell, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But I think they're going to set the world on fire tomorrow. Starting tomorrow. I mean, they already did it. But I think Joe Biden, when he goes to Israel and he stands in Jerusalem or wherever, this is some real antichrist shit. This gonna get real biblical. You see? And tell these people about how Israel has a right to defend themselves, right? And they backing them up, and they bringing as much weapons, and we're gonna, you know, anybody get out of line, we're gonna kick them in the ass. Really? I don't think these people are scared of you. I don't think these people are scared at all. I think they tired of these people coming into where they live at, telling them what to do, and beating the shit out of them and taking their resources. You see? And personally, I don't think it's gonna go well, right? Like, I ain't no military strategist. You know, I'm just a dumb Negro from, you know, from America, whatever, right? But I don't think it's gonna go well. I think that they're gonna light the whole world on fire in a way that you've never seen before, right? I think it's gonna backfire. All of the troops, all of the aircraft carriers, the bombers. I don't think it's enough. See, you gotta, what are you gonna do? Destroy the whole world? Because now what they're gonna do is, when people watch them ethnically cleanse these people, right? At this, because I mean, these people are hypocrites. So he'll stand. He may even go there and say, "Well, we're gonna help the Gazans. It's humanitarian, blah blah blah." He has no control over these people. They control him. So everybody will realize that everything he's saying is empty words. It's all bullshit. The situation's out of his control. Because they're gonna continue to kill everybody, wholesale in Gaza. Any Arab that they can get their hands on. They're killing people in the West Bank. The West Bank had nothing to do with it. They up there they killed like 9 people yesterday. Shot a whole bunch of other people. Right? Talking about self-defense. Well, wasn't nobody fighting in West Bank. Why did you kill 9 people over in the West Bank? The IDF killed like 9 people, raiding people's houses, beating people up, locking people up, and shooting them. Talking about self-defense. How is that self-defense? Israel has no right to self-defense, right? It's all satanic, you see. It's very satanic, very Nazi satanic shit going on right now. And it's gonna get biblical. I don't know what else to say, man. This is insane. You watch them bomb and kill 500 people in the hospital. The Iranians warned them yesterday. They said, if you don't stop them in a matter of hours, we will. Right? They're gonna be all of the whole Muslim world is watching this. I don't know people that watch Fox News and I mean, like, how powerful do you think you are? You're not God. You can't control everything, everybody, everywhere. Look around the world, right? These people don't realize they're the minority in the world. They're not the majority, right? And there's not enough, like, I mean, they're sending like aircraft carriers. You don't have enough aircraft carriers and military and police to kill and control everybody everywhere all at once. They're gonna set the world on fire and then it's gonna get out of control. And then they're gonna realize, wow, we opened the hornet's nest. We can't control this thing. But then it's too late. You see, then they're gonna have to try to do something like nuke somebody. Well, we gotta nuke somebody to get these people to back off. Oh shit, right? So then you nuke somebody, but then somebody else pops a nuke. Okay, now you got, nuclear Armageddon, right? Because you can't just, I mean, you don't have enough aircraft carriers to send to Malaysia and to, I mean, you got Muslims in the Philippines, Malaysia, Syria, right? Where you gonna bomb everybody? You're gonna nuke everybody? You're gonna nuke Chechnya, you're gonna nuke, Egypt, you're gonna nuke Lebanon, you're gonna nuke Yemen, North Africa, right? What are you gonna do? Destroy the world? If I can't have it, nobody can. I mean, that's the only outcome. I mean, because these people, the Iranians have already said, we're not going to watch this happen. We're not going to let this happen. The Malaysians even came out. The Malaysian Prime Minister came out and said, we're not going to stand by and let this happen. And you're like, who the fuck is Malaysia? Well, I don't know, but what I would say is, if they game the fight and somebody go there and start bringing them over, you probably got couple million people there, right? Now you got a problem on your hand in Asia. You got a few million, people down in Asia trying to fight. What are you gonna do? Bomb Malaysia? You got people all over the world, Muslims, you know, not just, and they Asian Muslims, right? Malaysia, right? So we gonna bomb Asia, parts of Asia, send an aircraft carrier to Malaysia. You know what I mean? You got, you know what I mean? And they not gonna stay in Malaysia. They're gonna go to the fight. You got the Taliban, Afghanistan. I mean, you got some of the most fierce fighters in the world. And when you talk about Muslim groups who you've been attacking and allowing to train for years, nobody in their right mind would say the Taliban is not a fierce fighting force, right? They gave the U.S. hell for 20 years and you still didn't get rid of them. Do you really want them coming to a front line in wherever the fuck you at? You gonna bomb Afghanistan again? You got Pakistan, right? Now Pakistan is an Islamic State. They got nukes. You gonna bomb them? Really? You got a bunch of Muslims in India, right? You're gonna put the world on fire. These people setting the world on fire. Joe Biden is gonna go tomorrow. I gotta go. I'm gonna go and set the world on fire with this bullshit, right? Instead of like the Colombian president telling these people, listen, this is the activity of neo-Nazis. You have to stop, and you have to stop it today, or else. Joe Biden and the Americans will never do that, right? They'll never stop this, right? That's why I'm saying, like, I don't see how what's gonna come out of them going to, with him going to Israel tomorrow. But this thing getting worse. People being more offended, and then they looking at it like they're giving them the green light to ethnically cleanse people. And like the Iranians said, we're not going to allow you to come to our country and ethnically cleanse us. Right? We have to put a stop to that. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to take that as an offense. So, anyway, that's all I got.